in, ice gets in, and it expands and contracts. Something like that can be anywhere from $2,000 to $4,500 to fix, depending on what needs to be done. This is not something that can wait. This is a safety hazard. If a brick falls down and you're out here or your children are out here and it hits you in the head, it's lights out.
It's lights out.
I, too, was wondering what was wrong with the chimney.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Joe Mazza, hello, and welcome to New York Living.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Listen, we want to talk about your show. We want to talk about how you got your start in this. But before the break, we were admiring your tats.
Thank you.
You got you got sleeves for days.
Yeah.
And you just casually mentioned to us that one morning you woke up without vision.
Yeah.
Please, in 1 minute or less, tell us how that came to be and how is it that you see now?
Well, now I see good. I see
Thank
good
goodness.
now. I wear corrective lenses, but I see
I saw that chimney.
Yeah, he saw the chimney.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want a home inspector that can't see, right?
Exactly.
Which is why I'm
probably would be a deal breaker. You know?
Yeah. Well, my nickname was Joey Bats because I was blind as a bat when I was
And not an outfielder or an infielder for Major League Baseball, Joey Bats. Okay.
So what happened was I had a condition called keratoconus.
Okay.
It's a coning of the cornea where it pulls away from the eye. Mine progressed literally overnight, and I woke up and I couldn't see. Everything was a big blur. So I didn't know what happened, right? I went to see a bunch of doctors, and this is what you have. Don't worry, it's going to take many years for it to get, till you need a corneal transplant. No, didn't work like that. So fast forward, I ended up having 2 cornea transplant, one in the left, one in the right, a year apart from each other. So now I see really far with the left eye, and I see really close with the right eye, but with corrective lenses, it makes me see perfect. So the brain actually works its way in, so I see fine.
Do you believe this?
I have no words. The brain is a wonderful place.
Yeah, I need it.
Congratulations for overcoming all of that. That is something else, because you do need your vision. We couldn't help but notice you're covering your beautiful eyes. Dave,
do we have the overhead shot for
You know
this?
you've made it when they fashion your image into a sneaker. Sir?
Oh, yeah.
What's happening here?
I can't.
I was traveling a lot this past year, and my daughter came up with an idea. She goes, I love Vans. That's all I pretty much wear, Vans. And she was just like, I want to get my daddy a pair of Vans with his face on it. And look at how perfect
Not
they
her
are.
face, just your face.
My face. My face.
So that's from your baby girl.
My baby girl.
She got him some sneaks, some Vans.
I will be getting Marisolcita Vans for myself.
Exactly.
I love that so much.
Fantastic.
Well, what a journey this has already been.
It's already a journey. Now we got to get into the show
we get into
and
the nuts and bolts?
does.
What do we got?
Yeah. You started in construction.
Yeah. And now you're on television show number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started in construction. You eventually made your way to home inspection.
Yeah.
And now we have 2 television shows. So take us back to the very beginning.
Construction. Construction, 20 years in New York City. One of my first jobs was, unfortunately, was ground zero. So I was down there when the towers were hit. I was down there for 11 months with the cleanup. So that's how I started. And then I worked my way back, as a super, building high rises. And then my last job was the 2nd Avenue subway. I was there for about 7 or 8 years.
So we have you to thank or blame for the second
all the above. Yeah, not me. I was a safety guy.
He's like, wait a minute.
One of these days, this subway's going to be open.
Oh, my God, I heard that a million times.
Yeah.
Right? So I was there for like 7 or 8 years. And I got burnt out. I couldn't take it anymore. I was just like, you wake up and you're like, I don't want to go to work. And that's not good. So I was like, what can I do? One night I was just laying in bed and my cousin called me. He goes, Joe, I just had my house inspected. And it was just like a bell went off in my head. I stayed up all night. I studied the schools. I found the school. And I went into work the next day and I told my boss I need 3 weeks leave of absence. And if he said no, I was quitting. And if he said yes, I was doing it. So I did it. I went to school, got my license, got my first job. And it was the joy of doing this inspection and telling the buyers how amazing their house was or how bad it was. And they had their little kids there. And they were like, thank you, sir, thank you. And I went home and I'm like, I'm going to be the best home inspector there is.
Here we go.
This is it.
And the rest is history.
And then it just blew up from there.
Yeah.
But social media played a hand in that.
Yeah, because you became notorious nationally because you posted something on social media, caught the attention of our friends over at HGTV. Do you remember what that post was?
No, they never told me which one it was.
They had just been watching you. They were like, we like this guy.
Yeah.
We like this guy.
It was
All right.
July 26, 2019.
He remembers the day.
To the day.
Yeah.
Now, tell us how your nose figures into your inspections, because as we looked through your Instagram, we looked through the show, you're constantly sniffing something.
Yeah.
And should we be doing that when we're looking into our future homes?
Yeah, but you don't have to get like in the floor and sniff the floor.
That's why we hire him.
Yeah, that's why you hire me. So it all goes back to when I lost my eyesight. I lost my eyesight, and when I lost my eyesight, your senses pick up out of our senses. So my nose picked up. So I went from being Joey Bats, because I was blind as a bat, to now becoming the mad sniffer. So now
Not the man sniffer.
The mad sniffer?
The mad sniffer.
Mad.
M-A-D.
Like the Mad Hatter, but the mad sniffer.
Mad
That's
sniffer.
great. What are you sniffing for? What can you smell that is a potential pitfall in a home?
Everything. I walk into a house, I can tell you if the AC is not on, if the AC has mold in it, if they have been opening windows, if they have opened their windows, if a cat peed on the second floor in the corner. It's
8 years ago.
Wild. It is wild. You want to hear something? Watch this one. So the show comes out, and it was like me sniffing and everything. Do you know how many calls and emails and texts I got? Joe, can you come smell my house?
Really?
Probably
Seems like
150.
something you have to charge a lot for.
I said, no, I'm not going to smell your house.
But you know that. So you know when you're being interviewed for a job, and they say, well, what makes you different than the rest of the home inspectors out there? What do you bring to the table? Nobody else is the mad sniffer.
No one's
Exactly.
a mad
Show me
sniffer.
another home inspector that's doing that.
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
What's your superpower?
Nobody.
Yeah.
That's my superpower. And it's also, when I pull up to a house and I look at that house, everything that's happening out here stays out here, and I'm inspecting the house like I'm moving my family into it.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. If I inspect it that way, I know it's going to be perfectly fine going forward, whether it's bad or good.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty for our viewers. What are some potential pitfalls that they should be aware of if they are looking to buy a house?
Buy a house. Structural issues, water damage, and you always have to watch out for sellers, especially now, that are hiding stuff. I'm telling you now, I see it all the time. They'll strategically put stuff against walls in the basement. They'll paint the basement walls, you know, like, oh, that water damage, he's not going to see this. You know, they try and cover things up, but water damage is huge, especially in New York, Westchester County area, and Lower Connecticut. Water damage is like the #1 problem.
Unbelievable.
Right, because we're like, I feel like anywhere else you go out of the tri-state area, they don't really do basements.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Okay, so a lot of our viewers, us included, are renters. So things that maybe are a little bit different for buying versus renting that you should be looking for in your future home.
Right, so let's say an apartment.
Yep.
Start off with the AC system or the central air system, the furnace. Make sure it's serviced before you get in there. Make sure the filters are changed. I change mine once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Right.
Yeah.
I just learned that.
Yeah. I do mine once a month, but they say 1 to 3 months.
Okay.
But I do mine once a month because I like clean air.
Sure.
Don't we all?
Yeah, right. So you change it once a month. Check for or ask was there any fires in the building?
Right.
You know, obviously have your home inspector come in, have it inspected, have somebody come in, look at the electrical panel. Is it an old school Federal Pacific panel? That catch fire.
I always run the water and flush the toilet to see what I'm getting myself
Open
into.
all the cabinets.
Yeah, look for leaks. Look for leaks. Make sure the toilet bowl is not loose.
Right.
That's a
Or
big
just call you and
Sure.
say.
I mean, it's going to be a little busy because you have your new show coming
Yeah.
to HGTV. Real quick, talk to us about, it's called What's Wrong with This House?
What's wrong with this house?
Straightforward.
That house.
What's wrong with that
What
house?
about that house?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Not this house.
Yeah, it's almost the same concept as Home Inspector Joe. It's me going in. People actually live in the homes now, you know, and they have big problems that they can't figure out. And I go in and I'm just like, bam, 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 you know, and then we bring in the contractors. The contractors come in, we fix it. And then Noelle, she comes in and designs it, makes it look absolutely beautiful. That's it in a quick little nutshell. But there's a lot of cool stuff a lot of cool but really bad stuff.
I can only imagine.
Joe Mazza, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your backstory. It was really, really wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Continued success.
Thank you.
Fantastic.